Every farmer's market starts with harvest day, so I better get to work. Good morning, Buster. Good morning, Alice. I'm gonna start with the Gomphrena because it's by far the most annoying to pick, but it's also adorable. I do like to trim these as I go, mostly because they get so tangled in the bucket, and also there's a lot of these little side shoots, and it's pretty hard for the flowers to rehydrate all of this foliage if you leave it on. So some of them are shorter, but if they're ready, I'm gonna cut them anyway. That way I have some to dry, and I also have some things for smaller bunches as well. Oh, that sun's coming out. I need my hat. That's a bit better. I'm gonna at least get the Gomphrena finished for sure. So this one is a QIS formula mix and seems to be 3 different colors in there. I don't know if there's supposed to be more, but that's what I've got. But this one is carmine, and this is my favorite. Seems to be more robust plants. They were taller a lot sooner than this mix was. So because they're bigger, they're also a little easier to harvest. Definitely takes a little longer to strip it in the field, but I'm also using my rows. It's a bit of a chop and drop system here. I'm using my rows to make compost. And then I don't have to strip all these stems later, which I'm always grateful for. The sun is out and it is really, really hot right now. So I'm just gonna hurry to grab one more bucket, I think, and then I'm gonna wait until it's cooler and do the rest later. These asters are so gorgeous. Unfortunately, they're really short. So these are pretty much the reason that I'm also making little mini bouquets to sell at the market. So I mean, who wouldn't want these? Look what I found. I've been waiting for these and they just opened overnight. So perfect. Let me guess, you're bored and hungry. No? Well, that's new. Oh my goodness. I don't know if this is coming across on camera how dramatic those clouds look, but wow. So it's about 3 o'clock in the afternoon now, and I'm coming out to harvest herbs because it has been overcast. It's still incredibly humid, and we haven't gotten any significant rain in, I don't actually know, it's probably close to a month, if I'm remembering right. It is so, so dry. All my rain barrels are long since empty. And the water situation in this neighborhood is not great. Our well tends to run dry in summers like this where it gets, where we get a fair amount of drought. So that means that I can't just turn on the hose and water the garden. I'll go weeks without watering this section of the garden, and it's usually okay. But anyway, it's been chance of thunder showers for a few days now. Today is Saturday. Starting on, I think, Monday night, they're calling for a good 50 or 60 millimeters of rain over the course of 3 or 4 days, which will be amazing. It's not actually calling for any rain in the forecast today, but the clouds have been dark. We keep getting a couple minutes of raindrops. Not enough to get anything wet. Hi, Molly. And then it stops. But at least the cloud cover means that it's way more reasonable to work outside. So this is flat leaf parsley. And if I didn't mention this earlier, I don't just sell flowers at the farmer's market. I also sell fresh cut herbs, and this is actually how I started selling at the farmer's market. It's hard to get a good selection of fresh herbs, and I use a lot of them, and I grow a lot of them. So when I noticed there weren't a lot at the market, I thought, well, that might be something I can do. It's hard now, though, where it's been so dry. Things like cilantro and dill. The dill has gone to seed, cilantro also, and those are two of my biggest sellers, but I'm pretty sure I'll have some, ow, Molly. The point I'm getting to is I kind of see why farmers don't bring a lot of fresh herbs to the market, because it's really, really hard to sell enough volume to make a good profit. So when I started to dabble in growing cut flowers for myself, I thought, well, we only really have one other flower person at our farmer's market, and she gets things wholesale. Bringing local flowers would be something different. So it's been really good. I have my regular dedicated customers who always come. I sell my bunches $3 each, or 2 for $5. And I have a lot of people who come every week and pick out 2 things. And they're really, really excited to find things like, well, fresh tarragon, for example. Some of the farmers will bring cilantro when they have it because it's popular, but other things like Thai basil or rosemary, and what was the one I said before? Oh, French tarragon. That's probably one of the best ones. Those clouds are rolling in. I gotta stop talking and get to work. If you've ever bought fresh herbs at the grocery store too, you can see just how much better that looks. All right, so that is the parsley done. Ooh, that Thai basil looks really, really good. This row is a bit of an afterthought because we have watermelon plants growing amongst Thai basil. This was I ran out of space and I have 2 things to plant. And so I stuffed them together. I think I just felt a raindrop. I changed, by the way, because I can easily throw this on over top of a bathing suit. And then if I get too hot while working, I just go jump in the pool for a few minutes. Great system. Oh, it's raining. I can work in the rain, but camera cannot. So I gotta run you guys inside and then I'm gonna get back to work. Molly! Molly ran away from me and hid under the barn. Well, I can work in the rain, but it's a little bit much, and I just heard thunder, so I guess I'm working inside for a while. Wow. That's a hard no, dude. Wow. Would you look at it out there? Well, it poured for somewhere between 20 and 30 minutes. Not too long, but it was heavy enough that all of my rain barrels are full. There are puddles everywhere in the garden. Hopefully it soaked in at least a little bit. I'm gonna go out later and empty all those rain barrels and give all the gardens a good water, because really 20 minutes of rain, no matter how heavy it is, might only soak in an inch or 2 at the most. And that's not going to do a whole lot of good when it's, 35 degrees outside. But yeah, so that's my plan. So I'm doing inside things now. Get my bouquet wraps ready. I think I have enough flowers. So I grabbed a bunch of big focal flowers last night, right? The spider chrysanthemums are really nice. Some of the shorter asters, some sunflowers, and I think a couple Rebeckia too. I've had just a couple Rebeckia, but I have 2 short rows that are all about to burst into bloom. There are so many buds out there. I harvested them last night because it looked for a little while like we were going to get a big downpour like we did today. There, so those are done. And I think I'm gonna have to take a break for a little while because the kids are hungry again. So I'm going to make supper, feed the kids, clean the kitchen. I have to make some doll hammocks, feed them again likely, get them to bed. And then after that is when I'm gonna do the most of my prep. So there is our flower harvest. It's not looking too bad. We have a lot of the gomphrena. We've got a few sunflowers. They're really small because I plant them really close together and it's been super dry. A couple of Rudbeckia, a little bit of eucalyptus. Scabiosas are starting to come on nicely. Just a few snapdragons. They're pretty much between the second and third flush. The spider mix chrysanthemums. These short little asters, a little bit of feverfew. This is flamingo feather celosia. It's a little bit of my amaranth, and here's all my leftover status. I'm loving this dark purple. There's a little bit of mint. I should have harvested more mint for sure. And then we have, I think I have 5 stems of lilies, one of the Casablanca left, and I think 4 of the stargazers. It is now 9:30 p.m., definitely dark outside. I did go out and empty most of my rain barrels, use a little bit of liquid seaweed and dispersed it all around the gardens. Tomorrow is going to be another very hot, sunny day. So I wanted to make sure that they were all thoroughly watered. But for now, I'm going to get these bouquets made. Now it's a small market in a small town. I don't really bring that many, usually 6 or 8 or so. So it doesn't take me that long to make, but I've been making them at the market the last couple of weeks and it's gonna be so hot. I think I would rather get them done this evening. And we're off. So it is 9:15. The market is a 3-minute drive away. It's really close. It's right in the middle of town, in front of the community center by a big gazebo. It's a lovely setting. And at the moment it's running from 10 to 2. It's not a very early market, which leaves me a lot of time to do some stuff in the morning, have coffee and a nice breakfast. And now it's time to get to work. See you soon. It's about 20 to 12. It is super hot and humid and breezy, which is helping a little bit, but very slow crowd. I've sold a couple of bouquets and most of the minis actually, and a couple of herbs. So market recap. It is now the next day, and luckily the market finished stronger than it started. The wind though did pick up a lot. It got really strong, so I gave up on filming. But for a while there, it looked like I was going to come home with half of my bouquets So the little mini bunches sold out about halfway through the market. That was fairly quick. I sold 3 within the first little while, and then I had the rest of them left. But closer to the end of the market, I sold 2 more. So I only came home with 1, and it was my favorite one. So I'm happy to enjoy that. Taking Ellis out to the play cafe. So he's looking at me through the window. He's eager to get going. So I'll wrap this up, guys, and say thank you so much for watching. I hope you did enjoy that. It's a little bit different than normal, but I thought it might be fun to show you what I do with everything that I'm cutting here in the yard. So don't forget to like and subscribe if you did enjoy it, and I hope to see you next time. Bye.